The death toll from the collapse of the Meethotamulla garbage dump has risen to 30. According to the police, 11 people are still unaccounted for.
These images show the extent of the damage wrought by the collapse of the garbage dump mere hours after the dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year.
4
days after the catastrophe, more than 1,000 rescuers are still clearing and sifting through the debris. Today, a section of a road was unearthed. According to current estimates, 145 homes were destroyed in the collapse. 625 people from 180 families are displaced. People who were waiting for the Colombo Municipal Council to complete its valuation were buried. Blackboards and numbers were put up noting that these homes were at risk. But if that was the case, then the people should have been evacuated. There was some chemical that had been dumped underneath, and this was what caused the collapse. Responding to inquiries from Newsfirst, Colombo Municipal Commissioner B.K. Anura said that the CMC uses a chemical to suppress the stench of the waste. He added that this chemical had been used in Meethotamulla about 2 months ago. The National Building Research Organisation, meanwhile, has advised the evacuation of 130 homes surrounding the garbage dump. Final rites were observed today for 11 people killed in the tragedy.
The bodies have been wrapped in polythene and the coffins have been sealed. The bodies have not been embalmed. This is unjust. They sealed the body and brought it here. It was wrapped in polythene and they had taped around it. Forgive me, but look at this body. This is a nasty thing that they have done. A coffin only cost 1,500 rupees.
9 people were laid to rest at the Kolonava Public Cemetery. Among them were the wife, granddaughter and son-in-law of N. Kirthiratna, the convener of the People's Movement against the Kolonava garbage dump. Final rites were also observed in Maligawatha today for 3 people, including Ahmed Sajik, a grade 10 student at President's College, Rajagiriya, whose body was discovered this morning. 2 of those buried were from the same family. Minister of Law and Order Sagla Ratnayaka visited the scene of the disaster once again today, accompanied by the Army Commander and Inspector General of Police to take stock of the situation.
We are still searching. The Gram Nildari says 6 people are still missing. This may be about 90% correct. It could be a maximum of 10. So we will continue to search for the bodies, be it 6 or 10. If there are areas or homes that are still at risk, we will relocate the people there. There's a building owned by the Paddy Marketing Board and they will be taken there. We are expecting a technical team from Japan to arrive this week. They will share their technical expertise on the continuing risk and on removing this garbage dump. People are emotional at this time and we must be sensitive.
Meanwhile, Western Provincial Councillor Susil Kindal Pittiya submitted a letter from a group of residents of Ekasiya Ekawatta in Meethotamulla who have agreed to move from their homes to the district secretary.
What happened here? This was covered up for the benefit of politics, business and mafia. The rulers had no interest in resolving this. If a solution was provided for this back then, this tragedy would have not struck. So never will we allow them to bring garbage to Kolonava again. The people of this area will not allow it. There is no forgiveness for this. The politicians responsible must step down from their positions if they have anything called shame.
Issuing a statement this evening, the Ministry of Finance said compensation would be paid to the victims of the tragedy. The statement reads that a sum of 100,000 rupees would be paid for each death and a maximum of 2.5 million rupees would be paid for damage to property. Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake says that compensation has been paid for natural disasters across the island since 2016 through a disaster insurance scheme. The Ministry of Megapolis and Western Development issued a statement today banning the dumping of garbage in lands owned by the Urban Development Authority. The ministry says that if a local council or other public institution requires land to dump waste, then such institutions should use the provisions allocated to cover the cost. The statement also reads that the Colombo Municipal Council had been advised to halt dumping waste in Meethotamulla and that they had been advised of alternate locations. Meanwhile, mounds of waste could be seen in Colombo today.
When was it decided to dump garbage in Meethotamulla? It was Gotabaya Rajapaksa that made the decision in 2008. There was garbage before that, but it was garbage collected by the Colonnavo Urban Council, not the mountain of waste dumped by the Colombo Municipal Council. We saw how they responded when the people protested. They used Anura Seranayaka to chase them down and beat them. This was Gotabaya Rajapaksa's plan. Now they're trying to turn this catastrophe into a blessing for themselves.
Waste
has turned into a business. I can fearlessly say that garbage has become a business for the municipal council. Transporting the waste and selling the waste is a business. So the municipal council prefers it when there is more waste. If they can deny this and prove it, I will accept it. I will simply not accept that this is the way. This garbage dump was a major mine for politicians. The Colombo Municipal Council granted the 600 million rupee tender for 800 million rupees and the politicians divided up more than 200 million rupees among themselves. The chairman, deputy chairman and even the opposition members of the Colonnavo Urban Council use their own lorries to transport and dump waste here and create an income source for themselves. This government and every government preceding it is accountable for the Meethotamulla garbage dump. A large number of people are suffering from this tragedy because of the neglect of all the authorities. Through our research, we determined that the Meethotamulla garbage dump was too high and that the soil layer beneath it was not strong. So we took this message to the relevant authorities and worked to raise awareness among the people. By then we knew that this could collapse or that a landslide could occur at any moment. One such land has been chosen and the garbage is piled onto such an extent, it is very difficult to use any engineering technology and provide an instant solution.